I hope you don't get the sickness.
My boy Kurt is a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad. Walt Disney Cartoon Classics Volume 13, Donald's Scary Tales. Yes, it's Halloween. It's the greatest time of year. I've been saving this one for spooky season. The time's upon us. Let's do this. No ads on the VHS. Donald's Scary Tales is not messing around. Old-timey intro. I have no idea how old these opening montage clips are. Could be 50s all the way to the 80s. I have no idea. We start with the storm. The radio says a gorilla has escaped from the zoo and is either heading to Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck's house. That's really funny. Mickey jumps out of bed with a shotgun, and that's also really funny. Mickey Mouse and a shotgun. Opening title credit, Donald Duck and the gorilla. Huey, Dewey, and Louie are all terrified. Donald takes great joy in their fear. Later on, the 3 scamps put on a gorilla costume and they're about to scare Donald, but then the real gorilla pops up and scares the trio away. So now Donald is expecting the kids to retaliate, and when he sees the real gorilla, he assumes it's a fake one that's really a costume with the kids inside. I think every cartoon ever made has had an episode like this, and why mess with what works? As soon as Donald realizes this gorilla is an actual real live killing machine, the radio reminds everyone that you can calm any animal down if you look him straight in the eye. Donald does this, and the gorilla's pupils are actually gravestones that say, "Here lies Donald Duck." This is great stuff. What happened to darkness in cartoons? We changed, folks, and not for the better. Check the VHS sleeve. This cartoon, 1944. Better times. The gorilla is scary in a real way. He's chasing Donald around his house and destroying everything in the process. At one point, Donald is running across the house using broken folded ladder as his stilts. All great. He slides across the table, but the gorilla pops up on the other side with his mouth open, waiting for Donald to slide into it. The radio tells Donald to use tear gas, but he can't because the gorilla is about to crush Donald's head between 2 giant boards. The kid in red, I want to say Huey, happens to have some tear gas and deploys it. Gorilla starts crying. Donald laughs, then starts crying as well when the gas hits him. It ends with the 2 of them huddled together and crying. Mickey Mouse does the voiceover for the bridge to the next cartoon, and he says, "After that gorilla business, Donald turned out the lights and decided to read. But as he found out, books can be scary too." That's my Mickey Mouse. Next up is Duck Pimples. I feel like we're using the word pimples in like a 1944 kind of way. Donald is listening to old-timey radio, and the suspense shows are creeping him out. He imagines his chair is the gorilla, and then some guy that looks like the villain from I Know What You Did Last Summer, like for real, stands in his doorway, and he's terrifying, but then swerve! He's actually just a salesman, and he wants to sell Donald some books instead. In a weird change of pace, Donald isn't annoyed by this minor inconvenience, and instead he buys the books. The book has a weird skull on the back cover, and some sort of mob story, and the audio plays while Donald reads. You know, this is a lost art. There's no animation. It's just Donald looking at a book, but you can hear the complex and leveled and layered audio, and your imagination does the rest. We've lost our way. Eventually, the characters emerge out of the book, and a female that is 100% the blueprint for Jessica Rabbit crawls out as well. They have mistaken Donald for someone else, and they want him to give something back to the mob. He doesn't have it, but they feel they can make him talk, and they should call, quote, the torturer with hot irons. Donald disposes of them outside, but like, yikes. Okay, they're looking for pearls. Turns out it was the main criminal that actually stole the pearls from the mob, and he pulls out a pair of revolvers and he's sticking them in everyone's face. Everyone scatters, and Donald is reminded that it was only his imagination. But then he's actually wearing the pearls! Now there's another radio bridge between cartoons, and it's totally their main movie trailer voiceover guy. Amazing. Up next, we have Donald's Lucky Day, and there's a calendar with Friday the 13th on it. Remember that. It's important later. There's some shadowy figures who have made a bomb, and it's going to go off at midnight. They've sent for a messenger to deliver it. One asks, "Gee, what if it goes off too soon?" The answer, "Well, we just get a new messenger." Hard cut to Donald riding a bicycle wearing a large hat that says messenger. Predictable joke, but it still landed. These old cartoons were way ahead of my time and also ahead of their time. They're trying to be smarter than the audience. Everything I've seen on this tape so far has been absolute 100% solid gold. He takes the package and they tell him to deliver it before midnight. Okay, this one is 1939 and Friday the 13th is already a super unlucky day, which is really amazing because as someone who loves the actual Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees movie franchise, I've seen and read multiple interviews with Sean Cunningham who claims that he picked the date out of thin air and in the 80s and takes complete credit for making Friday the 13th a thing. Liar! A cat tries to slow him down. Animation of this looks and feels exactly how animation should. It's dark and grainy and awesome. The cat just keeps sandbagging Donald. It won't let him deliver this thing. There's a great scene where he and the cat are on both ends of a long board like a teeter-totter, but Donald's end is hanging over the edge of a roof, so he's yelling at the cat to go forward and then backwards as it tips and teeters and then forward again. And it's so good. The bomb falls out though and a wire pops loose and starts sparking at the cat, and the cat hisses and attacks it, and the cat and the bomb both fall into the river, and boom, we get the underwater explosion and a bunch of dead fish fly up and cover Donald. He's excited because the cat is dead and it's not his problem anymore, but then he gets covered by an avalanche of stray cats who pounce on him because the dead fish are all over him. See? Simple, fantastic end. I mean, other than the dead animals, it was all great. We end with a creepy animation of a graveyard and a voiceover that tells us to look out for other classic Halloween VHS tapes like Blackbeard's Ghost, Something Wicked, This Way Comes, The Watcher in the Woods, Legend of Sleepy Hollow. This is amazing. These don't sound like Disney releases. I'm going to have to do some research on this. This video is copyright 1990, so either Disney allowed another company to release this collection of shorts as part of their collection, or else there's a Disney version of Something Wicked This Way Comes out there, which is really fun to think about. Okay, so I wore this costume in Disney World when we were there over the Halloween season back in 2017, and this was a hit. Let me tell you folks, everyone was taking my picture. I was drunk with attention, but I gotta give a shout out to the wonderful woman who was working the exit at Magic Kingdom that night. The rest of my family had already changed out of their costumes. It was like 3 hours past our daughter's bedtime. Everyone was on fumes, but this employee stopped me dead in my tracks, like hand on my shoulder stopped me, looked me up and down, and I'm not sure I've ever heard such wonderful laughter in my life. I'm sure it was equal parts laughing with me and at me, but I'll take it. Her stuttering through tears of laughter about how I was the only one in my family dressed up, running around Magic Kingdom in a skin-tight Rafiki suit just broke her. She was like, I've seen a lot of things working at Disney World, but this is one of my favorites. And that is easily one of my top 3 memories I have of all of our trips to the parks over the years. So, cheers to you, exit lady working the Magic Kingdom around Halloween 2017.
Look here. That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has. Thank you.